Well, let's speak to Dr. Greg Mills in Johannesburg. He's the director of the Brenthurst Foundation. Good to have you with us. Even Mugabe's staunchest supporters, the war veterans, have turned against him and said it's time for him to go. What do you think is going to happen, particularly with this impeachment motion being drafted?
Well, he certainly seems to be running out of options. He's tried the sort of classic tactic of obfuscate and deny and pretend it's all not happening, which he did yesterday in his rather meandering address to the nation. But the impeachment process will start tomorrow in Parliament, and that will mean that a vote will be taken. It'll have to get a 2/3 majority to impeach him as president. He is directly elected, so it's not enough for his party simply to kick him out. He has to be, in a sense, deselected by the Parliament and by the Senate. And that could happen. It could take weeks. It could happen very quickly. But he does seem to be running out of political allies. And this is a combination of miscalculating. For really the first time in his very long political career, he's always been very adept at playing his allies very carefully, always letting somebody think that they were going to succeed him. But this time he moved very decisively in favor of his wife against Emmerson Mnangagwa, as your program said, the crocodile, a man not to be underestimated, and the military stepped in. But in a week, he survived the military's sort of disguised coup, as it's known. He survived these public protests. He survived a no confidence and deselection by his own party. But I don't think he's going to survive the impeachment campaign against him. It's going to be a much more difficult one to survive, given the majority that Zanu-PF have in the parliament.
Pretty destabilising for Zimbabwe, not just politically, but also economically. What effect do you think this is going to have?
Well, it's hard to destabilise the country any more than it currently has been simply by Zanu-PF's rule. It's got debt of roughly 100% of its GDP. It spends more than its budget on salaries alone and has to borrow very heavily in the market to fund the rest of its budget. It's simply run out of money and it's run out of options. It used to, of course, before the introduction of the US dollar in 2009, with the government of national unity, simply print money, and that led to hyperinflation, where money was virtually halving in value every hour. And that they've run out of that option. Now they've tried to issue treasury bills to subsidize the budget. That's also running to an end. So there's a huge economic hole to be filled, and that, plus these miscalculations on the political front, mean that whoever takes over is going to have to do a very quick repair job. And that repair job is going to have to involve getting international donors back into the country, the IMF and the World Bank, among others, to try and inject some more capital funding. And to do that, they're going to need credibility and legitimacy. And I'm not sure if the credibility comes from Zanu-PF alone. There'll be some goodwill towards Emmerson Mnangagwa, I'm sure, despite his political pedigree. But he'll probably have to link up with some opposition forces to be able to stabilize the economy. And that, I think, raises quite an exciting prospect for Zimbabwe.
Greg, good to speak with you. Thank you very much indeed for that. Dr. Greg Mills in Johannesburg there.